Hey there, beloved Ascension pioneers. Welcome back. It's Polona and I'm sharing from my nature space again. Last time I wasn't able to record here. It was windy, my camera froze. This time I'm having low battery, so I hope this video lasts until the end as well. But I really feel inspired to share more from this outdoors, from nature, and especially today because I would like to talk about the new earth. The new earth, and many times I've mentioned this before, it's not a place, it's not a physical location. It's not a thing of separation, you know. Some people go to new earth, some people don't. It's not a judgment call. It has nothing to do with that. It's a vibration. New earth is a vibration. It has a lot to do with people who are choosing to embody love, or are still choosing to, you know, go with the ways of fear. Only love embodies. Fear does not embody. Fear stays in the beliefs. And sometimes fear also has awareness, but fear does not embody, fear does not bring it forth. So what's happening now in this season of eclipses and everything moving us forward, and especially I feel summer will be very crucial for us, stepping so fully into this new earth. And it is, remember, our destiny to be in the new earth, to step there as pioneers and show the way. It is not for us, it's not meant for us to stay in the old and support others just because they choose to still be in the old. You know, we have to choose to be pioneers, to be where we feel guided to be. So it's up to others if they choose, when and if they choose to go along that road as well, but we need to choose our own soul path and road. So today I want to talk about how important this is to understand the new earth as a frequency, and that frequency needs to be embodied from within. So, you know, what you have, I've been mentioning this a lot before even, that you have a mental awakening, which happens here. You know, you awaken to reality and that it's not always like it seems, and all the information coming at you and everything, you know, in your surroundings, you wake up to reality that it's not, you know, how you've been told, and all the manipulations and lies and everything. And then there's also the heart. I call this the soul awakening, when it's actually you surrendering to your soul and starting to embody this journey. I've been speaking about this constantly because the essence of this is so important for us stepping into the new earth as a frequency, as a way of living, as a way of embodiment. And it's important to cherish the values that come from the new earth template. You know, in the new earth, it's not about gathering money, gathering possessions, having a business, needing to do all the time, pushing, striving, achieving. It's not about achievements, it's not about accomplishments. It's about people who follow their soul choices, who follow their soul path, instead of path of the mind leading you towards achievement and establishment. It's not a path of business and, like I say, achieving, and a path of constant doing and striving, you know, and overburdening yourself sometimes, you know, just overexhausting yourself. The new earth is a frequency of sharing, of exchanging within love, freedom of being, you know, simplicity of living, heart-to-heart based friendships, companionships, love, devotion to spirit. Basically saying yes to spirit and saying, you know, surrendering your lower sort of living and your lower self-awareness to the life of spirit. So surrendering that to the greatness, the highest potential that you are. You know, a lot of the times I'm speaking about this higher potential because my main purpose is to show people the alternative. You know, I cannot help them. I cannot make them walk through the door. I can just show the alternative. I can just share how it is to be in this new frequency through my own embodiment and experience. And then you show the alternative of what this truly is, how we can bring heaven to earth within. So what's happening here is, if we wish to be in that community space of new earth and wish to build these true companionships and friendships and things that will push us forward, that are pushing us forward in the new, is we need to embody everything first. Like last week I've been writing a lot about friendship. In order for you to have that sort of friendship that is based on true value, through true companionship, not making favors of each other and not, you know, give and take kind of thing, but true exchange of energy in a balanced way through our true essence that we are. So in order for us to experience that, we need to first embody it. That means being fully open to love. Yesterday I was watching a video from Tom Lesher, the astrologer, and what's happening now when I'm experiencing myself, he totally nailed it, and he nails in every one of his reports. He just literally says it like it is. And yesterday he was speaking about something that I've been feeling myself through going this eclipse experience. You know, especially Scorpio, bringing all this depth into the surface through the water essence. And Tom was saying you just have to open up to love, you have to open up to intimacy, you have to open up to sharing. And yesterday I had this experience with someone who I recently really need to let go of in the terms of holding the space, because, you know, like I said, we cannot wait for others to get to where we are. We've been holding this space for long enough. Now we need to move to the new vibration from within to without. So yesterday I had this experience and was really joyful because I was always full of life, wanting to share everything and just not just wanting to talk about our relationships and our special bonds that we have and just, you know, texting each other and telling each other all of that, how we value each other, but really making it the real thing. Like my sister of light Kyra says, you know, the feminine is what creates, the masculine is which manifests. So the action that aligns with that space of creative void, that is, you know, surrendering and, you know, receiving this higher guidance, and then the masculine part of us puts that into action. I say this, it's making things real. So yesterday I had this experience and this conversation, and what I said to that individual, I also want to say to all of you. You remember this, it's kind of like this joke about this man who was drowning and he called God, and he was sent a boat and people and everything, you know, three waves of love came to him, but he said no every single time. He said, no, I'm waiting for God. He's had this expectation of how this rescue should come to him, so how love should support him. He came to heaven and he was shown there that, you know, he received all of that, but he said no every single time. So what I said to that individual was, you don't even understand as people sometimes how much showered we are with love constantly from the universe. But we don't see it when it comes to us. We constantly go into fear mode because we don't want to push to the higher octave, you know, we don't want to move beyond our comfort zone. We don't want to move into the space of real intimacy and real bonding and real action, how living that in the action in our daily lives, not just in our chit chats, you know, or in our brain, in our vision how it is to be, but in a fully embodied living presence here on earth. So I said, do you know how many times you've said no? And the more that you keep saying no, you actually say no to your soul, because when you say to love, which flows through your soul, you say no. You say no to the soul, you say no to love. So anyway, sorry, got that all mixed up because I'm all super excited right now and nature energies are intense. Plus I have a super new crystal. It's a kyanite and I have it here in my special box. It's so gorgeous. It really heated up when I was holding it in my hands just prior to making this video, asking for the highest guidance, for the highest potential to come through. So anyway, we don't realize often how many times we were saying no to love because we were in fear mode. But we don't even stop ourselves for a moment and ask ourselves, but what are we really afraid of? When someone, for instance, shows you all that love and affection and devotion and wants to show you something magical, because I was always this way. I always lived in magic, but there was other people who constantly were saying no, 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 and I had to, you know, shift my gear to the lower gear just to match them, and these were old patterns that I no longer choose to do anymore. Because I'm saying yes to life, to creation. I'm saying yes to new earth. I'm saying yes to true embodiment of divine love. I'm no longer saying yes to supporting that old and waiting for others to follow me. I follow myself. I'm my own guide. I say yes to love. I stay open to life. So if others don't follow, you created yourself. If others can mirror you, you mirror yourself in this beautiful relationship you establish from within to without. And then don't worry, new opportunities will come. The more that we surrender to the old attachments and waiting for some people that we really care for, the more that new space opens up for us. New opportunities, new growth experiences, new learning tools, new surroundings, all of it. New gifts that emerge from us when we truly embrace the new, while we release all of that old patterns. Because, you know, the path of fear is often realizing things, and you can become aware of some things, but fear still doesn't want to embody it. Fear will say, yes, but I like my comfort zone. So a lot of times fear creates the excuses. When you're feeding the excuses either to yourself or someone else, basically it's just to yourself, you notice yourself, you observe yourself and see where you're still doing that. Because love never gives excuses. Love always says yes to life. You know, kind of like the movie when Jim Carrey had to say yes, you know, the movie was called Yes Man, and he said yes to every experience. And although that fear, you know, sometimes was connected with that, and he didn't always want to do what he was, you know, represented with the opportunity to do. But through that, he opened up by always saying yes to things, and he saw that when you constantly say yes, so much love comes to you from everywhere, and you're not limiting yourself to the way this love is supposed to come. So a lot of these old patterns are still rooted within us. That is why these eclipses are so strong in bringing that out of us. But there's just people who live in love and people who still live in fear. There is no somewhere in between, because there is no just 50% to love. I like to say love either is flows through you or it's not. And there's just different shades of gray. Like I say, when you're in fear, you know, sometimes you see love, sometimes you're not. But it's like Alan Watts said, there's no ego. You either know yourself or you don't. It's the same with this, because when you know yourself, you know your love. So you experience love by embodying it. So I'm sorry, I'm super excited. I'm a super trooper today. I'm really hyper. You can probably sense this in today's video. But I really wanted to give this message out, because there is no new earth as a parallel, as an alternative, if we really don't support it physically as well. Because it is being, you know, it is a place of energy, but we're creating it in a tangible physical form as well, through all that we're doing now in the new. So when you notice yourself saying no to things and really pushing people away, pushing situations away that you don't know what they will bring for you for the highest growth, you will constantly say, oh, maybe I don't feel this for me, I don't feel this. Sometimes it's the ego says it doesn't feel. It's not always the heart, because the heart does not say no. The heart is always open to love. Of course, that's not the same as having boundaries, but you're always open to love. You know, for example, when I was writing about friendship, I meant to really look at the values of friendship. You know, friendship is not just sharing these like tasks with one another, or just discussing things and in theory, or loving each other in theory. It's loving ourselves really in a grounded way, showing love, stepping up to it. But a lot of people, you know, when they talk and talk and talk, and they can write beautiful things, but when it's their spirit opportunity, you know, to embody this, to support this with action, a lot of people fear and they run away. My energy was very confronting always in my life, so people kind of didn't like that, because no one likes to look at their shadow. No one likes to see where they're still denying this love aspect. But it's crucial for you to see it, because otherwise you'll always block it. And like I say, life is an endless playground and of immense opportunities if we only really embrace it. And that means to our physical self as well. Not going to that victim mode that gives excuses or says, yeah, I see everything, but you never do anything about what you're seeing in yourself. You just keep seeing, and that goes on for ages and ages and cycles and cycles. You don't really make a step forward. The only way we really grow through expansion of our soul, which grows through contraction and then expansion, is by going beyond our comfort zone every single time. So sometimes maybe you won't feel to do something, but it's spirit telling you, try it anyway. See what comes next. Don't label it. Don't really define it before you experience it. Experience it and then, you know, then see what it is. Because a lot of people have opinion about things that they didn't even try. You know, that's why people ask me about opinions. I say I don't have any. First of all, I don't have them in general. I just feel things as they are, you know, as I go through life. And the second part of this is that if I don't experience something, I have no opinion about it. It's not important. Anyway, what I loved about this is that I was so in alignment with what I wanted to record also when I was seeing a video from today of Dr. Chazé. And she was speaking about this, how it is important to surrender to the path of our soul. And sometimes this is really connected, and it is crucial to be in awareness that it's nothing to do with joining groups and being in that manipulative zone of the global events and, you know, radio, TVs and everything, and groups and events. This is our tribal sense, you know, that we need to belong somewhere instead of belonging to our soul and to all of creation. So I really loved her message. If you want to see that message as well, I have her channel, Blueprint for Love, in the channel recommendations on YouTube. You just have to go there directly to my channel to see it, to view these video recommendations, channel recommendations. So this was really in alignment, because she was speaking about how important it is to just, at one point, surrender your path of your ego self, that, you know, you identify yourself with it and you choose to live this moderate life, and surrender it to something high.